morning, boys and girls, and happy Thursday. Today's our last day of learning for the week. I hope you've had a really good week and enjoyed learning about what makes shadows change. Today I'm going to go ahead and read our story Moon Bear's Shadow a second time, and then I have another fun story to read to you right after that. But first, let's get started with our good morning song. Are you ready? Here we go. You are good this morning. All right, let's jump right into our Days of the Week song. Ready? Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. Awesome. Okay, yesterday was Wednesday. Can you tell me what day it is today? Any guesses? Today is Thursday. Thursday. And Thursday starts with that's the TH sound. So we have two letters and we put them together to make one sound. Thursday. And the month is April. Remember, at the beginning of April, A says its name. And today is the 9th. Are you ready to do our year? Let's do it together. The year is 2020. The year is 2020. Nice job. All right, we're going to talk one more day about what makes shadows change. And what do you remember from our story? Can you think about it? You can even say it out loud to maybe one of the adults in your house or a sibling. All right, so think about what makes shadows change in our story, Moon Bear's Shadow. But first we're gonna go over our amazing words. We have a couple that we already learned, and I'm gonna go through those first. The first one is ground. Say ground with me. The ground is the land that we walk on outside. This ground has grass and trees. Some ground has dirt. All right. Next, we already learned annoy. To annoy someone is to bother someone. If someone is annoying you, they are bothering you. Say annoy with me. See this little boy is annoying his sister or cousin maybe by putting, what is that? A frog on her head. Oh my goodness. She looks pretty annoyed. And this word was scare. To scare something, you make it afraid. Or you can scare someone and make them feel afraid. These kids look scared of whatever's on the TV. Can you say scare? Nice job. All right, our new ones are here. Say, is that the right way? Cast. Say cast with me. When something is cast, it falls or is thrown onto something else. So when you cast a shadow, it means that it's being thrown onto the ground. It's landing on the ground. See how this iron fence is casting its shadow onto the ground? Say cast. Good job. All right, next is that right? Wide. Say wide. Something that is wide is very big from side to side. The hole in this street is wide. Say wide. Good. Our last word is deep. Something deep goes a long way down bottom from the surface. This hole looks very deep to me. It looks like it goes way, way down, and we can't see the bottom quite from this picture. But I bet it's way down there. Say deep with me. Deep. Good. Okay. Let's take a look at our story, Moon Bear's Shadow. Do you remember what this is called if it tells us what the name of the story is? You can go ahead and say it out loud. It's the title. This story is by Frank Ash. That's the person who wrote the words. What are they called? That person is called the author. All right, let's get started. Let's see. Oh, look at the beginning picture. Do you see that? What is Bear doing? Bear is putting a worm on that hook. I wonder what he's planning to do. What do you think? I think he's gonna go fishing. Let's find out. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. I'm going to catch that fish, Bear thought to himself. But what happened when Bear stood up to throw his line in the water? Do you remember? He cast a what? His shadow. When he stood up to throw his line in the water, Bear cast his shadow and scared the big fish away. Go away, Shadow, cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. Why wouldn't Bear's shadow go away? Do you remember? Let's find out. Okay, said Bear, if you won't go on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you. And he put down his fishing pole and began to run. He ran around the pond. When he got to the other side, he kept on running. And what was his shadow doing? What did his shadow do? It followed him, didn't it? He just wanted to get rid of it. He wanted to free himself from it. He wanted it to go away from him. It wouldn't, though, would it? He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over the brook, and hid behind a tree. Do you remember what a brook is? It's a small river. Good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can't find me. Do you see his shadow in this picture when he's hiding behind the tree? Where do you think it went? He thinks his shadow's gone, doesn't he? But Bear was wrong. Uh-oh. How do you think Bear felt when he saw his shadow again? Look at his face. Ooh, he looks like he might be annoyed. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was his shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. I'll climb so high Shadow won't be able to follow me, thought Bear. Do you think that might work? Maybe. Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Huffing and puffing means breathing hard and breathing with short breaths like, can you huff and puff? Show me. Oh, that means he's working really hard. But then he looked down and he saw Shadow. It's still there. Oh my. Now Bear was very annoyed, so he went home and got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow to the ground. He's bothered by his shadow. It won't go away. But can you nail a shadow to the ground? Do you think it will stay? What do you think? Bear hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. If I can't nail him down, thought Bear, maybe I can bury him. Do you remember what he does next? What does he do? Do you remember? Go ahead and say it out loud. He digs a hole with his shovel. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall in the hole. Then Bear filled in the hole with dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon. Do you remember what noon is? Noon is the time of day when the sun is right over your head. It's usually when we eat lunch or close. What happens to your shadow at noon? Do you remember? The sun was high in the sky and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last, sighed Bear. No more Shadow. Is his shadow gone? Is it gone for real? But now Bear was very tired. He went inside and took a little nap. So can you remember all of the things that Bear did so far? He went fishing, he ran around a pond and over a hill, he ran across a field and jumped over a brook, he hid behind a tree, he climbed up a cliff, he hammered nails into the ground to try and nail his shadow down, and he dug a deep hole to try and bury his shadow in the ground. Wow. How do you think Bear felt as he was falling asleep? Pretty tired. I think that was a lot of hard work he did, trying to get rid of his shadow. While Bear slept, time passed and passed, and the sun once again cast shadows everywhere. Remember those shadows that they fell onto the ground. So what is the sun doing as Bear is sleeping? Do you see what it's doing? What's it doing across the sky? It's moving. When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. Not you again, exclaimed Bear, and he slammed the door shut, hoping to lock Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. It went where? In front of him on the door. Oh my goodness. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this if it's a deal. When Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded too. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line in the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky, which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. Where's his shadow now? You see it? It's not in front of Bear anymore, so it's not going on the water. So it's not scaring the fish away. And when Bear caught that big fish, Shadow caught one too. Because the fish did what? It cast a shadow just like Bear did. How funny. So was Bear finally able to catch that fish? Yeah, he was. His shadow finally didn't scare the fish away. And why was that? Because what happened with the sun? Do you remember? Let's see where it is at the beginning. It's all the way over here. And then what happens? As we go through the story, let's see where the sun goes. It starts moving and moving. And then while he slept, it moved across the sky. And what does that mean for the shadows? It means that the shadows moved. The shadows went to different sides of all the things. So, when Bear got up, the sun was in a different part of the sky. And when he went fishing with his shadow, the sun was all the way over here. That meant that his shadow, Bear's shadow, was over here instead of on the water. Pretty neat. It's pretty cool how light can cast our shadows in different places, isn't it? All right. Now we're going to read a story about a family whose shadows also follow them while they go on a bike ride. We will also learn about how shadows change during the day, like we did in Moonbear's shadow. So here in Moonbear's shadow, remember, we can see how his shadow is following him everywhere he went. Let's see what happens with this family while they ride their bikes. It's called Along for the Ride. It's a sunny Saturday afternoon, a great day for a bike ride to the park. Take a look on the ground. What do you see? Will our shadows follow us? Let's see. The bike path is wide. There is room enough for all of us. We hope to arrive at the park soon. We're hungry. What do you think they brought to the park for when they're hungry? I bet they brought a picnic. We park our bikes and are ready for a snack. Everything tastes so good. It's nice to have a rest. Oh, they must be tired from riding their bikes. It's getting late. The shadows we cast on the ground are long. Do you remember why they're longer? Because that means the sun is getting lower in the sky. It's farther away, so it's making the shadows longer and bigger. What a fun day. Who needs a car when you can move around town on a bike? Do you think our shadows had as much fun as we did? What do you think? I bet they did. They got to do all the same things that the family did. They got to ride the bikes with them. They got to go to the park and play and set up the picnic and have snacks and then ride back home all together. Well, that's all for today, boys and girls, and I hope you enjoyed learning about shadows this week. This weekend, I have another fun activity that you can try with shadows. Earlier this week, I had you guys try going outside and watching where the sun is in the sky and seeing where your shadow is. Well, now I want you to pick some toys, maybe some dinosaurs or some cars or a doll, and I want you to put them in the sun and see where their shadows are. If you have chalk at home, then I want you to trace their shadows on the ground and outline it and see what it looks like. If you can take a picture, that would be so cool for me to get to see, and you could post it or share it with me if you want to. Your moms and dads could send it to me maybe. But it's a really fun project, and I know Connor and we've tried that this week, and I think we'll probably try it again this afternoon, huh? It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Mine's terrible. Hers is better than mine.
Anyway, it's a really fun little activity to do, and it's a great way to get outside and be in the sun so you're not stuck inside all day. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.